Welcome to Cord Cutting today for April 8th, 2019. This is the show where I give you a quick look at some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now. If you want to learn more about these stories in the show notes down below, I'll put a link to each story so you can read about them for yourself. Today we're live from the National Association of Broadcasters Convention, also known as NAB. This is where many of the biggest broadcasters and some cord cutting services come together and talk about the industry. We'll be covering the show all week here at cordcuttersnews.com and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/cordcuttersnews. Today, though, I found a little quiet corner. The show floor opens in a little while. I'll be there. Already been to a few panels, all about the world of cord cutting. Listen to the CTO of Philo and more. So keep an eye out for more cord cutting news all week from the show. But let's dive into the stories that are happening from the past 24 hours. First, though, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us to do things like travel to the NAB, and hopefully we can help you break free from your high cost of cable TV and still watch what you want to watch. All right, let's dive into it. Now, one of the biggest new services coming out all year that people have been excited about is the, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Centurion Collection, however you say it, Criterion. I know everybody's going to say I butchered that. My apologies, but it's a classic movie streaming service that's coming back. Now, they were previously a part of the Filmstruck service, which was co-owned by AT&T through their Turner Classic Movies network. When AT&T walked away from that deal, they decided, hey, you know what? We love what we're doing here. We're not going to stop this. So they're launching their own streaming service now. It's supposed to go live today. It's going to include over 1,000 feature films, 350 shorts, and 3,500 supplementary features, which according to this says trailers, introductories, behind the scenes, documentaries, interviews, video essays, and more. So you're going to be able to get a ton of additional content here through this service, and not just some movies. Now, it does have a breakdown of what you should expect. When I'm recording this, this is not quite live yet. Today they do announce it's going to go live. Is that going to be 8 p.m. today Eastern? Is it going to be noon? I don't know. By the time you're watching this, it may very well be live. So keep an eye out for that. Next up for the news today is something I've really been pushing for a while, but there's a new study that backs it up, and it's the importance of protecting your passwords to different streaming services, and of course your bank accounts and everything else. Yesterday, a report came out from that said that over 1 terabytes worth of passwords were recently leaked. So usernames and passwords were put out there. It includes 25 billion email addresses and password combinations. Why is this important to the world of cord cutting? Well, what happens is people steal your password, may not be necessarily from the streaming service that they intend to use it on, but often people use the same passwords for their Hulu subscription that they may use on some junk website out there. Well, that junk website gets compromised, and now they have your Hulu password, and they're selling it on the black market. There's been a lot of recent reports that the average price of a stolen Hulu or Netflix or Amazon account can go for as much as $3.25 per working login. So when you're got billions of those and you're selling them for $3, even if you sell a few million, well, that's a few $1 million in your pocket. So it's a big business. I have a whole bunch of tips down below in the show notes down there to this story on how to prevent yourself. But we've even seen, or protect yourself from this, excuse me. But we've even seen malware specifically targeting and stealing your password. So instead of infecting your computer turn into a botnet like they used to do, now they just want to steal your passwords to things like your bank. But this is one of the things I really want to remind everybody here. It's the important part of why you don't use your bank password other places. If your bank email address and password is the same as what you're using for your local community forum group, or maybe a website you like about a topic you enjoy, it's very possible that that website could be breached. They probably don't have the security of your bank, and then that password username is now being used on your bank account. So I highly recommend that you take some precautions to have different passwords for different things. Your bank accounts definitely don't use that password anywhere else. But also check. There's a few ways you can see if your password's being used on other devices by other people. This happened to me with Hulu. One day I woke up and was like, somebody changed my home screen. Somebody added a bunch of stuff that I wasn't watching to our recent watched. Come to find out other people were using my account. Change password, kick them all off, go through that whole step. But it's happened to us. It could very well happen to you. And I noticed it because they broke the rules. Often when these are sold, they tell you don't save anything to a favorites list. Don't change any passwords. Don't change any profile names in the account. Whoever purchased my account did that, and that tipped me off that it was happening. So I highly recommend that you take a moment and look into this, because it's very possible that you don't even know your account has been compromised. So check it out. And that is also why I hear a lot of people, oh, suddenly Sling or somebody, I'm getting charged for all these add-ons I didn't pay for. Well, that's because somebody who took your username and password went and upgraded your account to charge you more money. It doesn't cost them anything, but now they're charging you more. So keep that in mind. All right, next story on up today. The American Cable Association is changing their name, and it's to address basically cord cutting. Now, they don't call it cord cutting, they call it the changing industry, but they're now called the American Communications Association, focusing on the fact that they're increasingly more about internet and other services than traditional pay TV and cable. I have a full statement here, but there's already several smaller cable companies out there who have announced plans to terminate TV service. RTC was one of the first that said, hey, in July, we're just going to be ending home internet service or home TV service. We're going to be focusing exclusively on internet. That's what our customers want. That's where we're moving. So I highly recommend you take a moment to read that. Find it very interesting. You know, for all the talk here at NAB, and I've already heard, oh, cord cutting's not real. It's not nearly that big of a deal. On. Cord cutting is a very small percentage of the world out there. That they're going, though, and changing the name of their cable association to focus on the fact that they're less about TV and they're more about streaming. Found that very, very fascinating. It seems like that's more of a truthful reply to what they're actually doing in the world of cord cutting right now. So take a look at that. Let me know what you think, and I'd love your thoughts on what the president of the new ACA, the American Communications Association, instead of the American Cable Association, is doing out there. So let me know. All right, next up, more older Americans are subscribing to streaming services. This came from one of the panels I went to today. Increasingly, everybody tries to push this idea that streaming is just something a bunch of millennials do, some teenagers, some 20-somethings. Well, according to a report that was presented today, and I got full details in the show notes down below, the most likely age group to subscribe to a streaming service is 35 to 44. You're probably saying, well, millennials, that 20-somethings, they're the second most likely. Well, actually not. 45 to 54 is the second most likely group to subscribe to a streaming service. And apparently, Americans 70 and over, 20% of them subscribe to a streaming service. And overall, over half of all cable TV, traditional pay TV providers, satellite, and more, subscribe to at least one or more streaming services. So it's probably no big surprise here that slowly streaming is taking over. And this story really lines up well with what we just saw over in the American Cable Association canceling their contracts. So my question to you is, are you one of those 35 and over that are much more likely to be a cable subscriber? Are you one of the 70 and over? I know there's many readers here. I've talked to many people who are 80, 70s and more, cutting the cord. They're sick of paying a high TV bill. I'd love to know, why did you do it? Do you fall into these brackets? And when you were a cable TV subscriber, did you also subscribe to a streaming service? Leave us a comment, let me know. I would love to hear from you. All right, last story of the day today. Philo is testing co-viewing feature. Now, they announced this feature back in January at a similar press conference, but today the CTO of Philo came out, and I was able to witness his conversation that they had here at NAB. And he said that they are testing a co-viewing feature, which basically means, like, I'm in Vegas, if my wife's back in Texas and I wanted to watch something together, they have a way that we can sync that together, watch it at the same time. They're even talking about having a ability to chat on a tablet or a phone like this one right here, so that you can go and watch what you're doing together, talk about together, and have a group experience. Maybe you're somebody who lives in one state and your parents live in another. You want to watch something together, and they have this co-viewing experience right there. So my question to you is, this seems like a cool feature. Philo's announced that they are doing in-house testing. Philo employees have a working version of it right now in testing. Let me know, do you have any interest in this? Is this something that you think will be good for you? Is it something you're not all that interested in? There's been many such services out there in the past that haven't really taken a hold, but they've always been third-party devices. buy this third-party device, and then it does it. You need the device, your friends need the device to do it. With this version on Philo, it's just on the Philo app. It's just built into the system. It's not like you need a special device. Everybody has a tablet, and it is made to like chat on your tablet, but watch it on your TV. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this. I'll love to hear from you. And again, though, all week will be from NAB. So keep an eye here. I hope you all have a great day. I'm going to be posting some other videos. I did record the full Philo chat. I will be posting it here on YouTube in a little while. And we will be shooting some video from the show floor. Some of the daily updates may be more of I'm bouncing around a little bit than the traditional sit down like this. But keep checking back all week for more NAB coverage. I appreciate your support. We will see you later today and tomorrow.